Kabuki Quantum Fighter. And before you ask, no, I don't have any mainstream NES games in my library. In fact, I only have like 5 games in my NES library, and I can't really afford any more at the moment. Anyway, it's the future. Everything is controlled by a single AI which gets corrupted, and now it's up to Colonel Scott O'Connor to jack himself into the Matrix and stop it, and get turned into a cyborg Kabuki actor because reasons. Seriously, the plot is hardly the best, but the reason behind this is the plot was initially kind of a tie-in with a Japanese movie, which of course never came out in North America, so tying the two together didn't make a ton of sense. They just kind of had to make something up, and it works about as well as trying to make something up about a Kabuki actor in the Matrix for North American audiences in the late 80s, early 90s. It just kind of didn't work. But in short, it's basically the plot of Samurai Showdown 3. Anyway, where the plot fails, the gameplay comes in and kicks 10 times as much ass. On the surface, it appears like a very standard platformer, kind of reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden, but it is a very solid platformer. It knows exactly what it's doing, and it does it well. While your cyborg Kabuki actor is running around the Matrix, shutting down evil AIs and stuff to prevent nuclear explosions, you'll be running around hair-whipping enemies. First of all, that's awesome, and I choose to think that that inspired Shantae, which I'm totally okay with. But you're also equipped with a secondary weapon, which relies on something known as chips. And these are essentially ammo for your various weapons, with the exception of your hair. Now you start off with a basic shot, which isn't terribly impressive, but after you beat each boss you gain a new weapon, starting with a more powerful fireball, and then later a triple shot, and even a crazy sort of virus Kabuki bomb of death. And while you'd love to spam these weapons, they do run on ammo, and ammo is scarce. Moreover, while your basic shot takes 1 ammo, everything else varies it up. So you actually kind of have to be strategic about how you want to use your weapons, because you might end up running out of ammo when you really don't want to. Each weapon behaves differently, and usually the weapon you gain from a boss is incredibly effective against the next boss. So it's kind of important to stock up on your chips while you can. There's tons of different traps you have to maneuver your way around. Water hazards, electrical guns, monsters that fire fists at you, giant mouths. It's all very insane, and it works at a fairly quick pace, but the controls are spot on, tight, and responsive. The level design, for the most part, is really well done. There's always at least one enemy or one obstacle on screen at any one time, which means it never gets boring just running around. There's all sorts of walls and ledges you can grab and flip over and just acrobatically maneuver your way through the environments, and that is a ton of fun. In fact, a lot of the traps feel like they were designed specifically for timing your jumps perfectly. But even if you miss, there always seems to be something to just catch you if you're quick enough. There's no bottomless pits, and spikes don't kill you instantly. The only thing that will is the timer, and with the exception of one level, I never felt like that was any problem, and really was more focused on acrobatically swinging my way through the levels and hair whipping stuff, and that is a ton of fun. However, this game does follow in the tradition of most platformers in that it does make that one cardinal sin of having vertical scrolling levels. And yes, they're terrible here, as they were terrible in every other game ever, but they always try and have tons of ledges below where you might drop to catch yourself to save you, and there's actually a vertical scrolling level that actually works from top to bottom, using gravity to your advantage to get through the level as quick as possible. And that's a really cool concept. I don't know why other people don't bother trying that. It's always vertical scrolling up, which is a pain in the ass. Now the aesthetic is really cool. It has a sort of cyberpunk meets Geiger feel to it, which makes everything feel really unique and just kind of creepy, but definitely awesome. Everything is well detailed, all the characters, all the monsters, all the environments look really nice, and the animation is one of the most impressive things to me. It's all very fluid, and there's tons of different animations for your character. There's 3 different animations for simply attacking. There's your standard hair whip, there's ducking and punching. There's a really cool leg sweep move when you're dangling off something, which looks really cool. I love the super fast climbing on the walls animation. That makes me laugh a little bit. And this game is just oozing quality in its aesthetic. It just looks great. The soundtrack is really nothing terribly special. I found the Area 3 vertical scrolling level to be the most catchy theme, but honestly, while it works, it's not terribly memorable. But it does what it needs to do, and it does it well. Ultimately, I would toss Kabuki Quantum Fighter into the same bucket as Crystalis, Clash of Demon Head, Worm spelled with a U, Shatterhand, the Power Blade games. I could go on, but essentially it's a third-party release that never got the attention it deserved, and while it might not be the highest quality game ever, it's stylish, it feels like there was a lot of passion in making this game, and it's just a shame that very few people know about it, because it is very cool. Overall, I think this is a really well-made game, and it's definitely stylish and very cool. However, aside from the major problem of vertical scrolling, it does do one other thing that really bothered me, and it's a problem that only really good games seem to have. It teases a sequel that never happened, and I'm a little bit upset about that, because honestly, I really liked this game. I thought it was tons of fun. So you know what? I'm going to recommend Kabuki Quantum Fighter. If you don't have it in your NES library and you like platformers that are fast but not wildly unforgiving like Ninja Gaiden, absolutely pick this up because it is a ton of fun. It's not going to cost you a ton of money. I see tons of copies going for $5 or less. So next time you and your friends get together to discuss NES games and they're all talking about Legend of Zelda and Mario, bring up Kabuki Quantum Fighter and tell them what's up.